Hey there, my friend, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to talk about something I think many of us can relate to. It's that feeling, that familiar rush of excitement, when you start something new. Maybe it's a new hobby, a new fitness routine, a new project at work, or even a new language you want to learn. The beginning is always so full of energy, isn't it? Full of hope, full of possibilities. You can almost taste the success, the feeling of accomplishment. But then, something happens, doesn't it? That initial spark, that burning enthusiasm, it starts to dim. Slowly, almost imperceptibly at first. And before you know it, that new venture, that exciting start, becomes another unfinished chapter. Another thing you started, but never quite brought to completion. It's a common struggle, one that can leave us feeling a little disheartened, maybe even a bit frustrated with ourselves. We look at others, those who seem to effortlessly stick to their goals, and we wonder, what's their secret? Why can they finish what they start, and I can't? Let's think about some real-life situations, things we've all probably experienced. Remember that time you decided to get fit? You bought new gym clothes, signed up for a membership, and even planned out your workout schedule. The first few days, maybe even the first week, you were on fire. Waking up early, hitting the gym, feeling strong, feeling proud. But then, slowly, the alarm started to get ignored. One missed day turned into two, then a week. Soon, the gym membership was just a monthly deduction, a reminder of a goal abandoned. The enthusiasm faded, and the consistency vanished. Or perhaps you decided to dive into a new subject, to learn something entirely new. Maybe it was coding, or playing a musical instrument, or even preparing for a big exam. You started with a fresh notebook, shiny new books, and a dedicated study space. The initial lessons were engaging, you felt yourself making progress. But then, the material got tougher, or life got in the way, or perhaps you just lost interest. The books gathered dust, the instrument sat silently in its case. Another good intention, another unfulfilled promise to yourself. It's easy to feel alone in this, but believe me, you are not. This is a human experience, a puzzle many of us try to solve. We see people around us, friends, colleagues, public figures, who seem to have this incredible ability to stay consistent, to push through, to reach their goals. They get up every day, rain or shine, and they just keep going. And we wonder, what is it about them? Are they just built differently? Do they have some secret source of motivation we don't? Well, let's explore some of the reasons why we often find ourselves in this cycle of starting and not finishing. One of the biggest culprits, and it's a tough one to admit, is a perceived lack of discipline. We might tell ourselves, I just don't have the willpower, or I'm not disciplined enough. But perhaps it's not truly a lack of discipline, but rather a misunderstanding of what discipline really is, and how it's built. It's not a switch you can just flip on. It's a muscle you have to train. Another powerful reason is our desire for instant results. In our fast-paced world, we've become accustomed to immediate gratification. We expect to see progress quickly, to feel the rewards of our efforts almost instantly. When we don't, when the journey feels long and arduous, our motivation wanes. We think, this isn't working, or "it's taking too long." And so, we give up, missing out on the compounding effect of small, consistent efforts. We mistake the slow burn of progress for no progress at all. Distractions, oh, the endless distractions. Our modern lives are brimming with them, aren't they? Our phones, social media, streaming services, the constant notifications, all vying for our attention. We sit down to work on that important project, and suddenly, a notification pops up. Just 5 minutes, we tell ourselves, but those 5 minutes often stretch into 20, then an hour. The focus is broken, the momentum is lost. We live in an age of constant connectivity, but sometimes, that connectivity comes at the cost of our concentration and our ability to follow through. And then there's overthinking, the paralyzing analysis. We spend so much time planning, perfecting, imagining every possible obstacle, that we never actually start, or if we do, we get bogged down in the details. We fear failure, or perhaps even fear success, and so we create intricate mental roadblocks. Is this the right way? What if it doesn't work? I need to learn more before I begin. This constant internal monologue can drain our energy and prevent us from taking decisive action. It's the enemy of execution. But here's the good news, my friend. Understanding these reasons is the first step toward overcoming them. We're not destined to be eternal starters, never finishers. There are practical, actionable steps we can take to change this pattern. And it all begins with a shift in perspective, a change in how we approach our goals. Let's talk about solutions, about how we can cultivate the habit of finishing what we start. The first and perhaps most crucial step is to start small. This might sound counterintuitive, especially when you have big, ambitious dreams. But remember that desire for instant results. By starting small, we trick our brains into celebrating tiny wins. Instead of aiming for an hour at the gym, commit to just 15 minutes. Instead of studying for 3 hours, aim for 20 minutes. The goal here isn't to achieve greatness immediately, but to build consistency. A small, achievable goal is far more powerful than a grand, intimidating one that you never even begin. These small wins build momentum, they build confidence, and they prove to yourself that you can do it. Next, let's tackle those pesky distractions. This requires intentionality, a conscious effort. To create an environment conducive to focus. Turn off those notifications. Put your phone in another room while you work on your task. Close unnecessary tabs on your computer. Tell your family or housemates that you need uninterrupted time. It's about creating a sacred space, a bubble of concentration, where your chosen task can thrive. It won't be easy at first, you'll feel the urge to check your phone, to browse online. But with practice, you'll build that mental muscle to resist, to stay present with your goal. Now, this is a big one, focus on consistency over motivation. Motivation is a fickle friend, isn't it? It comes and goes like the tide. We can't rely solely on feeling motivated to get things done. True progress, true finishing, comes from consistency. It's about showing up even when you don't feel like it. It's about doing the work even when the initial excitement has worn off. Think of it like brushing your teeth. You don't always feel motivated to brush your teeth, but you do it because it's a habit, a consistent action that you know is important. When you prioritize consistency, you're building a foundation that doesn't crumble when motivation takes a vacation. The action itself builds the motivation. This leads perfectly into the idea of building daily habits. Our lives are largely a collection of habits, good and bad. By intentionally cultivating small, positive habits related to our goals, we make progress almost inevitable. Want to write a book? Write for 10 minutes every single day. Want to learn a language? Practice for 15 minutes daily. Don't break the chain. Make it so easy to start that you can't say no. Over time, these small daily habits will accumulate into significant achievements. James Clear, in his book Atomic Habits, talks about how improving by just 1% every day leads to massive results over a year. It's not about grand gestures, it's about tiny, persistent actions. Another thing we can do is to be kind to ourselves when we do slip up. Because you will. We all do. The key isn't to be perfect, but to get back on track quickly. Don't let one missed day turn into a week of self-recrimination. Acknowledge the slip, learn from it, and recommit to your next small step. Progress isn't a straight line, it's often a winding path with detours. What matters is that you keep moving forward. And finally, find your why. Why did you start this in the first place? What is the deeper meaning behind this goal? When the going gets tough, when motivation is nowhere to be found, reconnect with that original purpose. Remind yourself of the benefits, the feeling of accomplishment, the person you will become when you finish. This intrinsic motivation, this deep personal reason, is far more sustainable than external rewards or fleeting excitement. My friend, the journey of life is a continuous process of starting and growing. It's about learning, evolving, and becoming the best version of ourselves. And one of the most profound lessons we can learn is the power of persistence, the quiet strength of consistency. It's not about being the fastest, or the smartest, but about being the one who keeps showing up. Who keeps putting one foot in front of the other. Who understands that every single step, no matter how small, contributes to the grand tapestry of our achievements. So, let's embrace the journey. Let's commit to those small, consistent steps. Let's celebrate every tiny win, and pick ourselves up with grace when we stumble. Because when we truly learn to finish what we start, we don't just complete projects, we complete ourselves. We build character, resilience, and a deep sense of self-trust. And that, my friend, is one of the most valuable lessons life can teach us. If this conversation resonated with you, if you found even one nugget of wisdom that can help you on your path, please consider subscribing to the channel. Join our community as we explore more topics about learning, growth, and becoming the best versions of ourselves. Hit that like button too, it really helps the channel grow. And I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. What helps you finish what you start? What are your biggest struggles? Let's share and learn from each other. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.